Okay, well, we're starting with those. We've got something to drink. Let's go ahead and start on our Abruzzi style chicken club sandwich. These are going to be some wonderful layers. You like that? God, it's good. That is a good one. I'm loving the layers of flavor in this. Instead of just doing a typical BLT, we're taking a marinated chicken breast that we've cut into strips, marinate it for at least an hour, preferably overnight, and then you grill it on the grill. It's yummy. First step first is I want to get the bacon done. Well, you can see I've already cooked the bacon ahead of time for all of our dishes today that require bacon. So here's what's left after I've sauteed all this bacon up nice and crisp. I've got a bunch of oil. Well, obviously, I sure don't want to put that down my sink, or I'm going to be spending a whole lot of money on plumbers. So to put it in the bottom of my garbage can is really going to be a problem too, because if your garbage can leaks at all, you got grease everywhere. So here's my tip. Take a bowl, take a piece of foil, and you just put this right down in the bottom, so you've made a nice little catchy place for all that grease. And of course, as you know, when bacon grease gets cool, it gets hard. So I'm just going to, and I want to save all those wonderful little brown bits of the bacon in the bottom, because when I caramelize my onions for this dish, I want those to be in there. So see, I'm leaving a little bit of bacon grease and all of the crusty bacon bits right in there. Now, when this cools, then all I have to do is fold it up, put it in the garbage, and it's gone. Pretty neat trick. Okay, one other trick before I start these onions is, as you know, in all of my recipes and all of my cooking, I always insist on freshly ground pepper. Believe me, it's going to make that big of a difference in your cooking too. Okay, so now that you've seen that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up my onions, because the second layer of this sandwich is going to be a ricotta and cream cheese and caramelized onion mixture that is going to give a whole nother layer of flavor to this dish. And those are going to go right into my pan, in my bacon grease drippings there, with about a tablespoon of butter. And these are going to saute for, 7 to 10 minutes, because I really want them nicely browned, because all of these juices from the onion are going to start to turn to sugar and caramelize. And that's going to give this an amazing flavor. Once we put this together, you'll see that there's just so many layers of flavor to this that it's wonderful. Always at each level, I want a salt and a little fresh ground pepper. Perfect. Okay, now while those are working, we're going to go ahead and start our chicken. Okay, so for this chicken, I've got a bowl here. And this is my chicken breast. This is one whole chicken breast. You're going to need 2 to make 4 sandwiches, because each one is going to be a half. So I'm just going to slice out that middle that's got the cartilage in it. You want to get rid of that. And then this chicken has got that little tendon right through here in the tender part that I want to cut out, because that could be tough, and we don't want this sandwich to be tough. So I'm cutting that out, just like that. There it goes. It's gone. Ooh, I love the smell of sauteed onions. A little salt and pepper. Okay, now for the marinade. This is so simple. And I love rosemary, so I'm using quite a bit of fresh rosemary. You don't have to use rosemary if you prefer thyme. Tarragon works beautifully with this. Definitely want some garlic. So I'm going to have about a teaspoon of garlic. I'm not going to worry about washing my knife, because it's all going in the same bowl anyway. And what I do for the garlic is I just cut the ends off, and I just give it a little smash there. Peel off the shell there, or the skin, and then we're just going to chop this. About a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Now this is fresh rosemary. If you don't have fresh, you're going to use a little bit less. Anytime you're using a fresh herb, use 3 times as much as the thin dried. Just a rough chop through that. And that goes in. Again, a little salt, a little pepper. And now all I'm going to need is they're doing beautifully. Look at how pretty they're getting. They're starting to turn nice and brown. The sugars are mixing in there. So now I want about 1/4 cup of olive oil and 1/4 cup of white wine. Doesn't have to be expensive white wine. Just like that. So I'm just going to mix that up. And then I just take my chicken, put it right in there, cover it, and stick it in the fridge and let that marinate for about an hour. I went ahead and did this chicken earlier. So it's already cooked, marinated, and I did do this on the barbecue grill out there. But I'm going to pass this around because I want you to smell what that garlic and the rosemary and the wine do to this. I mean, it's going to give a dimension of flavor, a layer to this sandwich that is going to be in great comparison and contrast with the caramelized onion and cream cheese. It's really good. Okay, so here I have got a little more than 4 tablespoons of ricotta, just because I'm doing more sandwiches than normally this would call for. And 4 tablespoons of cream cheese. And then I'm just going to take my onions, and I want to drain most of this off. Now, normally I would really like to cool these onions a little bit, but we're on toast. Now, since I've already put salt and pepper in the onions, I won't add more to the spread. At least not till after we taste it. If after we taste it, we decide it needs a little more, you can always add it, but you can't take it out. And we're going to combine this. Oh, caramelized onions, ricotta, and cream cheese. Doesn't get much better than this. And of course, I'm using this instead of mayonnaise. Okay, we're ready to start assembling these, you guys. These are going to be so good. Now, see, when you've got all of your ingredients assembled, this is really very, very easy to do. And when you see how it's presented, it really, really is good. So I'm just going to do good slathering. Oh, smells wonderful, guys. Going to love this. Now, a twist on some of these cheeses, too, these cheese spreads that you can do. You could add, instead of the caramelized onion, you could do roasted garlic. You could do roasted red bell peppers, which makes a really tasty cream cheese spread. It's also very colorful, very, very pretty. You could use pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, cranberries for like a turkey kind of thing would be really good. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, have your own ideas. Figure out what the things that you really love are, and just because a recipe calls for one particular ingredient, you don't have to, if you don't have that, substitute something else that sounds good to you, and I'll bet you'll love it. And it also makes cooking a little more fun because it personalizes it. I know, Lindsay, you do a lot of that. Okay, so I'm going to do a layer of bacon. And I figure about, because with all the chicken, this gets to be a pretty heavy-duty sandwich. I figure about 3 pieces of bacon per sandwich. Okay, so I've got the bacon, and then I've got a layer of lettuce, a layer of tomato. Oh, look how pretty that is. Little drizzle of olive oil. Woohoo! Fresh ground pepper. On the bacon, I'm not going to use salt because the bacon tends to be a little salty anyway. And we've got salt and other things as well. Another slice of toast. Oh, more cream cheese. Yes! Now we're talking. Now we're talking. And now my chicken. The marinated chicken. The flavors in this are just going to be, whoa, they're going to pop in your mouth. Another layer of cream cheese. Oh boy. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut this into 4s on the diagonal. So now I can put my toothpicks in. There we go, and that's the sandwich. Just like that.